In this video, we're covering ACM groups, profiles, and policies. Let's take a look in some of the prerequisites. You should be running ACM Professional, Enterprise, or Enterprise Plus versions. You need to have the proper reader license count, an administrator account with full access of the entire system. Groups and policies are part of ACM, so you don't need any extra license.
So some important notes here about groups, profiles, and policies. So profiles is used to update identities, and policies are used to update hardware configurations such as doors, inputs, outputs. So we're going to cover that in the next couple of slides. The process is simple. You create a group of identities or a group of hardware, doors, input points, output points, whatever need to be. Then you either create a profile or a policy depending on if you're trying to control identities, you would create a profile. If you're trying to modify or control hardware, then you would do a policy. And then you apply that profile or policy to the desired group. So let's go ahead and take a look in that, so we'll do a demo. So let's cover a scenario here first to give you some context of what we're trying to do. So let's say that I want, so two different scenarios. So the first one is I want to add department to a group of identities. So I'm going to select identities. So first I have to create a group with the necessary identities. Then I'm going to go and create a profile that will only change the department information needed. And then I'm going to apply that group to that profile using a batch run. So that's for identities. Now for hardware, what I also want to do is to unlock a group of doors during business hours. So I want to create a group with those desired doors, create a policy to change the custom mode and the mode schedule so I can have those doors being unlocked during that particular period of time. And then after that, I'm going to create a global action to trigger the policy that will apply the policy to the group of doors that I'm creating. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and log into ACM. In this case, I'm just using one of my demo systems, using my standard administrator account. So the first thing I want to do, and I'm going to start with the first scenario, which is the identity. So the first thing I want to do is go and create a group of identities. So then I can apply a profile to that group. So I'm going to go ahead and go here to rows and then groups. I'm going to go ahead and add a new group, give it a name. I have Disney characters in my identity, so I'm going to go ahead and call that my Disney group. And I'm going to go here to members and select, in this case, identities right there. So click identities and all my identities show up. Also, I can look for identities. If I don't want to see all the identities here, I can go into here, either search for first, last name. I can select any of those fields and search a group of individuals and then add them to members. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and just a field. So I'm just going to pick them manually here. And I'm just holding control in my keyboard and just hitting those numbers. Basically, it's almost all of them. No, that should be enough. So go back over here, pick these guys, move them over, save it, and now I have a group of individuals, of identities that I can use to apply certain settings. When that's done, next step is under identities, I'm going to go ahead and create a profile. So I'm going to call this profile my change division. Or better off, I'm going to call this division company A. Okay, go ahead and save that. I already have a division that is called company A. I already created that before, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in here. and just hit save. If I have to apply any other type of setting to this profile, all I have to do is just go here and pick the option that I want, and then this would be applied. So here's the interesting thing. So once you save this profile, you'll notice that more information will be available. So now I can assign roles if I want to do that. So I can assign a pre-existing roles to a group of people. I can remove roles. I can change settings for tokens. I can assign other groups to that group if I want to. I can add any type of additional information in regards to my user-defined field, so I can standardize and give that to the group. In this case, I want to do something very simple. All I want is to add a division called company to that group of individuals. All I have to do is just do that and save the record. Don't enter any other information. So whatever information you leave in blank here, it will not be applied. So it's not only the fields that I'm applying or modifying. In this case, just division is the one who's going to apply into the identities. All right, so go ahead and save that. And now for the identities, it's very simple. All I have to do is go back to profiles, pick that particular profile I've created, division company A, click this batch update right here. This will open this screen that allow me to update that to all tokens or go and select the group I've created. So here is the group. Click that, click apply, and it says because I have more than 10 items, this will be scheduled and it will run in the background. So it takes about a minute. So when I click continue, this now is a job schedule. So you can actually go into my account and job specifications, and you will see that is a batch job in here. This is the first one. That's gonna run in a minute now. So it usually takes like, it'll run in 2 minutes. That's what the schedule is, okay? So we'll leave this here for a second until it runs. I'm gonna go ahead and start to work in the other scenario where I want to update a group of doors with a different schedule. So one more time, we're going back to groups. And now I'm going to create a group for doors. So I'm going to call this my let's say my entrance, my employee doors. Let's call it that way. Go ahead and save that. And now you're going to go and pick the members. So first thing I'm going to do here is go to that, select doors. In this case, I have field doors in this demo scenario, so I'm just going to go ahead and click my front door, my lab, and my warehouse door, and move them over. Here they are. Go ahead and hit save on that. And then I can go, next step is go to policies and create the policy that I want. It's similar to profiles, but again, this is for hardware. So I'm going to go ahead and create and click in add policy. Call this custom custom schedule for employee doors or something like that. Select install, and now which type of hardware I want to work with. Doors, inputs or outputs. In this case, it's doors. I'm going to go ahead and click on doors, hit save, and this will create this new tab here, Mercury. This works with Mercury controllers. So I can click here, and now I can work with many different things in here. So for example, let's say that I wanted to, maybe as a company policy, I want to go ahead and extend my access in all doors, or my standard access time, maybe now is in 5 seconds, and I realize it's too short. I have 200 doors and I want to change that to 10 seconds. So instead of you going in each one of those doors manually and changing that standard access, I could go over here, enter the value that I want, let's say 10 seconds, right? Save that and apply this policy into a group of doors. In this case, it will be all my doors. And then in one scoop, I would reconfigure that for all my readers. In this case, all I want to do is this, is just go and apply a custom mode and say I want that door to be unlocked and I want that to be unlocked during business hours. So I already have my schedules created. That's all I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, next step now is once I have this policy created, I need now to go to groups, pick the readers or pick the group that I've created with those doors and link that to this policy. So then I can run the policy with the groups of doors. So here is my employee doors. This is one that I've created. I'm going to go ahead now. So here's the doors. Notice that there's no policy assigned to that. So now I'm going to go to the policy tab right here and then go pick the policy I just created, this custom schedule policy. Can go ahead and save that. Now that's done, I have now a group that has a policy assigned and 3 members, in this case the 3 readers. Next step is, how do I trigger this? How do I make this policy to run against those readers? So what I have to do is go here to physical access and create a global action. In fact, I'm going to create 2 global actions, one to install the policy and one to remove it. So the reader can go back to normal operations whenever I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and select policy install. I'm going to start with install and then I do another one for uninstall. And I'm picking that custom employee, custom schedule for employee doors. So that's my policy. And then over here, I'm going to call this custom schedule. Let's do custom schedule door. In this case, it's on because I'm turning this on, right? Installing the policy. Okay, go ahead and save that. And then we want to create the reverse. So now I'm installing the policy. I need to create another global action to take that policy or to uninstall that policy and bring the doors to their normal condition. So I'm going to call this custom door schedule off. And then I'm going to go down here and pick the policy and do uninstall and just go select this policy right here. Hit save. Okay, the next step now that we've created these policies is to test it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over here. I already had this pre-queued. So these are my doors. Right now they're showing card only. Those are the 3 doors that I have in that group. I pre-selected under my hardware status so we can take a quick look and see how that is affected. On the left side, I have my global actions, and I can either run that global action manually by hitting the execute button, or I can schedule that as a job specification and have that running periodically whenever I need it. So I'm just going to go ahead and execute. So the idea is once I run this policy here and the policy is installed, this door should go to unlock state, right? That's what we wanted to say. So click execute and this goes over there, and now you see the door starting to go, and there you go. So now you have the doors in unlock state. So I have the door set in a way where the custom mode is scheduled for business hours to leave the door unlocked. If I want to change that, put them back to its normal position, again, I could use a schedule to do that, or simply just hit the execute. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the execute button here, and this should turn the doors back to normal card only. And the last one right there you go. So now the doors are all back to normal. So that's a very easy, simple way of using policies and groups. One last thing we need to check is our identities, right? Because we had that running for the all the users. And if you remember, we asked them to move and change the users division to company A. So I'm going to click on that. And here it is, company A. Let's go ahead and pick another one. Search. Let's pick Donald. And here it is, company A. So all those users were affected or had that change in a bulk, right? And we did that here in profiles. I picked that profile and just ran that, okay? And applied that to a group of identities. Oh, that's it for this video.